something doesn't feel right at Maranello. With the private pre-season test in Barcelona set to begin on January 26th, troubling signs are emerging from inside Ferrari. Reports suggest the team is dealing with serious delays in the development of its SF26 car. Late design changes, a chassis approved far later than expected, and what Italian media describe as a chaotic final phase have sparked concerns that Ferrari may not be ready when the lights go green in just 1 week. The 2026 regulations marked the biggest transformation Formula One has ever seen. For Ferrari, this was meant to be a clean slate, a chance to reset, regroup, and finally return to championship glory for the first time since 2008. Instead, the team now appears to be racing against the clock, scrambling to meet deadlines that are suddenly uncomfortably close. For a manufacturer with Ferrari's budget, experience, and legacy, that's a worrying position to be in. So what's really happening behind the scenes? Let's look at what's been reported by Italian sources. According to Italian publication Auto Racer, Ferrari has run into problems during the final assembly of the SF26. Sources claim the chassis was only approved very recently, an unusual move, as this is normally finalized much earlier in the development process. That late approval has triggered a domino effect, pushing back the entire build schedule. The report describes a situation where unexpected design changes forced engineers back to the drawing board at a point when the car should have been coming together smoothly. Instead of fine-tuning and validating systems, Ferrari was still solving fundamental design questions, dangerously late in the timeline. Inside Ferrari's racing division, Gestione Sportiva, the mood is said to be tense. Staff are reportedly working long hours as the Barcelona test looms ever closer. And when you look at the timeline, it's easy to see why. Ferrari is scheduled to unveil the SF26 on January 23rd at their Fiorano test track. Current plans suggest the car will be fully assembled just 1 day earlier, on January 22nd. That leaves less than 24 hours between final assembly and a public launch. From there, the car must be shipped to Barcelona for the private test starting January 26th. Most teams aim to have their cars completed well in advance. That buffer allows time for system checks, dyno runs, and troubleshooting before the car ever touches the track. Ferrari won't have that luxury. They're operating with almost no margin for error. And in Formula One, that kind of pressure often exposes weaknesses. The power unit situation has only added to the concern. Earlier reports suggested Ferrari had yet to complete its first engine fire-up, a major milestone that rival teams had already passed weeks earlier. While updates now indicate that Ferrari has finally fired up the engine, the delay compared to competitors is still significant. And this matters more than ever. The 2026 power units are radically different from anything Formula One has seen before. Electrical power now delivers 50% of total output, up from around 30% previously. The MGUH, a system teams spent years mastering, has been removed entirely. Engines now run on fully sustainable fuels, bringing completely new combustion challenges. All of this demands extensive testing and refinement, and right now, Ferrari appears to have had less time than its rivals to get everything working together. However, there is important context to consider. Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur has confirmed that the team will debut the SF26 in a basic Spec A configuration, prioritizing reliability over outright performance in early testing. This is a planned approach, not necessarily a sign of panic. The version of the SF26 that runs in Barcelona will not be the same car that lines up in Melbourne. Key performance upgrades are scheduled to arrive later in the development cycle. For Ferrari, the opening test is about survival, making sure the foundations are solid before pushing for speed. Still, with the clock ticking and expectations sky high, all eyes are on Maranello, because in Formula One, first impressions matter, and Ferrari is running out of time to make the right one. Vasseur explained that this approach allows Ferrari to focus on one priority during the private test, running as many laps as possible. The goal is to confirm that all the new systems work together as intended before introducing the full performance package. Several teams are believed to be taking a similar path, given just how different the 2026 cars are compared to anything Formula One has seen before. But when this cautious strategy is viewed alongside reports of delays and the tense atmosphere described by Italian media, it raises an important question. Is Ferrari playing the long game by choice, or are they simply compensating for lost time? Vasseur himself recently made a revealing admission. He acknowledged that he underestimated the consequences of Ferrari's decision to stop developing their 2025 car early and redirect all resources toward 2026. That move was intended to give Ferrari a head start under the new regulations and put them ahead of their rivals. Instead, current reports suggest the gamble may have backfired. The 2025 season was a bruising one for Ferrari. The team fell from second to fourth in the Constructors' Championship, finishing behind Red Bull, Mercedes, and McLaren. They failed to win a single Grand Prix all year. Lewis Hamilton's first season in red delivered no podium finishes, with only a sprint race victory in China offering a rare bright spot. He ended the year 86 points behind teammate Charles Leclerc, who claimed 7 podiums but no wins. That context makes the current uncertainty even more troubling for the team. Ferrari urgently needs a strong start to 2026, not just for results, but to rebuild confidence among fans and within the organization after such a difficult campaign. There are also reports that Ferrari may arrive in Barcelona with some carryover components from the previous specification, rather than a fully fresh package. The early focus would be on reliability and integration of the new power unit, not on chasing headline lap times. While this is a sensible approach under the circumstances, it suggests Ferrari isn't quite where they hoped to be at this stage. What makes the situation stand out even more is the comparison with their rivals. Red Bull completed their shakedown without any reported issues. Audi, entering Formula One for the first time as a works team, successfully ran their car in Barcelona earlier this month, with both drivers completing laps. Even Aston Martin, despite Adrian Newey taking extra time over key suspension decisions, appears to be moving smoothly through its development plan. Ferrari remains one of the most iconic names in motorsport history. No team carries more championships or more passionate fans. But that legacy comes with enormous expectations, and right now, serious doubts are being raised about whether Ferrari can live up to them in 2026. The SF26 launch on January 23rd will be closely watched by fans and media around the world. The private test in Barcelona, beginning on January 26th, will be even more telling. Teams are allowed to run for just 3 days within the 5-day test window.